Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Before I start the readings, I want to let you know that I do have some new online courses available on how to read oracle cards and crystals and spirituality, so click on the link below to check them out. Hi Gemini, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your life purpose and career reading and money reading for the months of May, June, and July 2018. This is for Cancer, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sorry Gemini, I've been doing a lot of readings today. I'm a little loopy. Okay, so Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Today I'm going to be drawing one card from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen Farmer as the overarching theme, 3 cards from the Life Purpose deck by Doreen Virtue, and 3 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. And then in the area of your money, Gemini, I'm going to be drawing one card from the Money Tarot by Eugene Vanitsky. And I'm going to close out your reading, Gemini, with a numerology card. Let's go ahead and get started. Gemini, just to remind you, the love and romance readings are up as well. And all readings are available on the podcast, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts, so you can listen to them while you're in your car or running your errands, as well as see them here on the YouTube channel. And the online courses are also available on the website, How to Read Oracle Cards for Beginners, as well as the Intermediate and Advanced level course. Okay, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. May, June, and July 2018. Messages for life purpose, career. Okay. Here we go. Dream time, creation, beautiful. And blessings, rainbow, lovely. I love these beautiful pastel colors for you, Gemini. So we have dream time, we have creation, we have rainbow and blessings. Very lovely energy for you, Gemini. We have the Aborigine with the didgeridoo here, creating all this music, this dreamy music here. Could be kind of a magical time for you with the dream time and the rainbow. Very sort of Neptunian influence here. Could be a very creative time for you. And you could be very inspired by your dreams. And if you can nudge yourself as often as you can into having an open heart for all the blessings you do have in your life, it will help tremendously. Sometimes, well, everyone can do this, but I'm doing a Gemini reading, but being an air sign, you can get very mental, you know, but with that rainbow and that blessings, I feel like you are more and more, and have been actually leading into this time period, counting your blessings, seeing the beauty and the possibilities for your life, being really creative during this time period, being able to access the etheric realms through the dream state. It may be beneficial for you to write down your dreams as well. I've said this for other signs today, Gemini, that sometimes if you want to keep a dream journal, it's a message, you know, to your guides and angels, like, yes, I got the message that you gave me, you know, during the dream state. So it helps to strengthen that connection. Let's get some life purpose cards for you. Okay, children, sensitivity, body work, and protected. You are safe and supported while you change your career. You know, there is this big emphasis here, as I mentioned, on creation, creating something new for yourself, counting your blessings, chasing your dreams. Beautiful energy. Okay, I'll show the cards as I see them. So we have children. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. That may certainly be true for some of you. For others of you, it may just be that your children are a focus for you during this time frame. We have sensitivity. You're becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. And we have body work. Your life purpose involves body work, such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. It may not be that you do work in that, but that by getting some work like that is very helpful for you, especially if you are feeling more sensitive, you are tapping into the all that is through the dream state, you are more open to the blessings of your life, you know that you are protected as you're working to create something brand new for yourself around your sense of purpose in the world, the work that you do in the world. Lovely energy for you, Gemini. We have the children. So your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. So for some of you, you may indeed be connected to children in that way, whether you are teaching them or working with them in some way. It'll be confirmation for you. But you are working to create some changes around this. So, depending upon your particular set of circumstances, that will vary. But it certainly looks like you are supported if you want to work with children in some way, or shift the way in which you have been working with them. You're more sensitive now. So maybe it's that you're becoming more sensitive to the needs of children. You're beginning to understand others' needs more. It could be that you are just listening more to, the dreams that you're having, the guidance that you're receiving. And so you're wanting to make some adjustments and changes. We have that body work. Your life purpose involves body work, massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. For you, certainly, it does speak to becoming more embodied. Being an air sign, especially a Gemini, can get very, very mental. And can I get lost in the thoughts? And what does the thought mean? And how do I get there? And following that train. But it's important to ground yourself in the physicality of who you are, so that you don't get lost up there, And with the body work, it might help to pull you into your body. Remember that you are an embodied being and that you have strength and weight and substance to you. It'll help to ground you, especially if you're working with children. You have to be very grounded and present with children. And if you are, really in the sleep state, in the dream state, exploring other realms, it's nice to know that you are physically grounded to the earth as that occurs. Now, I will say for some of you with the body work, it may be that you are meant to initiate yourself in some way with some kind of, because we're talking about change here, as you change your career. It may be that you decide during this time frame to initiate yourself with like a tattoo or a piercing or this kind of thing. It's not uncommon for air signs to have piercings and tattoos and things like that, or even have them removed. You're very adaptable in that way. Now, for some of you, I want to say this. When we look at the body work, and I see it here with his wings and this tattoo, sort of intricate heart tattoo it looks like, remember that whatever it is you are doing, whatever it is you are creating for yourself, whether you change careers or just change projects, whatever it is you're creating, you want to create from a place that is your personal signature, your personal stamp. I feel like with the body work, it's like a branding. You're branding the work that you do in the world by your attention to the details, by instilling in whatever it is you do the sense of who you are, instilling your intuitive self, instilling your brilliant brain. Whatever you are doing for work, and you are working to change, you're creating something new, so it gives you an opportunity here to be even more conscious of this. You're wanting it to be your signature thing, your signature Gemini thing, whatever that is to you. And whether you are creating paperwork around it, whether you are creating, some sort of music around it, whether you are an artist, whatever it is that you're doing, your unique essence is meant to be stamped into it. I hope I'm articulating that in a way that makes sense. It's like your brand, so that no matter what you're doing, you feel proud of that thing. So whether you are just doing, whether you are, making music, whether you are creating, whatever it is you're doing, I'm thinking of the didgeridoo here, so I have that stuck in my mind. But whatever it is that you're doing, recognize that whenever you do something, that is your brand. It's not like trying to seek out an artificial way to brand yourself. Your brand is you.
how you are truthful, how you are honest, how you are open, how you are creative, what it is you're putting out in the world. That's you. That's your brand. And you are branding yourself more and more with what you are becoming. Right? You are safe and supported while you change your career. There's a change occurring. And you want to leave that branding, that legacy, the embodiment of who you have been for your children as well. It's intense, but that's the way it came in. Okay, let me get some additional cards from the tarot deck, Gemini. And of course, it may just be that for some of you, you do indeed choose to, as part of your sense of purpose in the world, a career that involves body work, massage therapy, energy building, physical therapy, or exercise training. But even if you don't do it for work or a career, incorporating parts of this will help to embody you. Strengthen your physical body. Pay attention to the physicality of who you are. It's an expression of your soul, you know. You're becoming more sensitive, and you need to make changes accordingly. You can't just go about things the way they were, because for whatever reason, you're more open now. Maybe it has to do with children. You know, she's looking towards the children. So maybe you've had children, and now you're more open and sensitive. Or maybe just that suddenly you're tuning in to the energies of children, how open they are. And it's allowing you to explore that side of yourself. Or even maybe, for some of you, you're looking back at your childhood and remembering and allowing yourself to process and grieve certain events or things that occurred. Maybe even you're dreaming a lot about the past or when you're a child. And through that, you're processing. And through the processing, you're able to make some changes in your physical world, which include possibly a change in your career. Okay, so I'm going to get the tarot cards. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, May, June, and July. Purpose, career, and money. Okay, Gemini. We have the Sun in reverse. Still a beautiful card, even in reverse. We have the Eight of Cups. Moving on. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. And we have the Father of Swords. There you are, Gemini, in your power. Under the deck. Well, you're definitely making a shift. You're definitely moving. It could be that you move, and this is why your career changes. Maybe you have a dream that tells you to move somewhere, maybe to Australia, for a small percentage of you, or if you're in Australia, maybe to move somewhere else. This is the Seven of Cups. Okay. Well, the Seven of Cups is really interesting here, too, because it goes with the dream time very, very nicely. I mean, you're still making a change regardless, but this is not, at first I thought it was the Eight of Cups, sorry. But with the Seven of Cups here in the dream time, you know, again, there's this Neptunian feel, there's a lot of fantasy. So be aware here, Gemini, of certainly overindulgence in fantasies, in can be alcoholism sometimes, you know, kind of hedonism with this kind of energy. But I feel like for many of you, it's not so much that, because we have that sensitivity. And if it is that you've been overindulging, I'll say this a little bit here, overindulging a little bit, because with the sensitivity, it doesn't work as well for you anymore because you're more sensitive. Your body is more of a sensitive instrument, and you can no longer like have 3 beers after work anymore, this kind of thing. But there is this idea with the dream time and the 7 of Cups, like all this kind of fantasy, and sometimes it can be confusing. Remember, you're not necessarily meant to land on a particular area during this time frame. You're working on understanding what it feels like to connect more to spirit, maybe through the dream time, through the dream state. You're becoming more sensitive to the energies of others, to the past with your children, or how you were as a child, or with your own children, or with the children with whom you work. And so that 7 of Cups has that kind of element of fantasy. But again, it's not that you're meant to land necessarily on anything, but you're kind of tuning in more, which is really, really nice. The Sun card, even though it's in reverse with the children, it does speak to this idea of being more playful, allowing yourself a more gentle, playful, joyful experience at work, in the work that you do with the world, with the work that you do in the world. The Sun does speak to the idea of children, so it goes nicely with that. Again, maybe that you are highly inspired by children or your own children during this time period. You begin to play more with the fantasy of what you could really do. If you really aligned yourself with spirit, if you really aligned yourself with a greater sense of your divine life purpose, not one day, not sometime out there, but in the moment. How can I express a greater sense of purpose in this moment? Tapping into creation, tapping into my artistic sensibilities, tapping into my sensitivities more deeply. How can I express that in this moment, in this conversation with this person, or in the work I'm doing in the world, or in whatever I'm creating? So you don't have to worry about getting it someday. You can tap into it in the moment. It will help alleviate some of the confusion that can go with this 7 of Cups energy. And then we have the Ace of Swords. As I mentioned, for some of you, it does feel like, I don't know why, like getting tattoos removed or piercings removed. It may be one of the ways in which you are rebranding yourself. It's going to differ for everyone, but this is the second time it's come up, so I'm going to say it again. This idea of removal may be also part of how you change, your career. It says change your career, but it doesn't have to be your whole career. This could be the way in which you represent and brand yourself within a career, within whatever it is you're doing. Very interesting. But the Ace of Swords also does speak to, sometimes it can speak to having an argument with someone, but also I feel like it could be that you are not being as commanding as you could be during this time period. And I think part of that is that in some ways you are a Swords energy. You are the Father of Swords here. You are in your power, really feeling a greater sense of yourself and your ability to articulate your needs, wants, and desires, your ability to see the situation clearly, to be a just and fair and true leader. And part of that is recognizing when it's time to tune in to the more etheric parts of yourself and your experience here on the planet, and lay down your sword. Remove those parts of yourself that have branded you as being one particular way. Now, for some of you, it may be that you get these, but I don't know. It's really feeling like a removal for me with the sword in reverse, too. That you remove certain parts of yourself. You lay down your sword. You don't have to thrust and make things happen and be aggressive, around your career. You can just be more open. You're more sensitive. Allow those sensitivities to guide you during this time frame, Gemini. There's a playfulness here that's coming up for you. Sensitivity and attunement to the child within, regardless of whether you have children around you or just children in general, or whether you work with children. It may even be that you just don't really feel like taking control of things, and I feel like for some of you, the reason this is so is that you recognize that you don't actually have control. With the Ace of Swords and the Father of Swords, you already are in control of yourself. And as you recognize more and more that you are an instrument for divine will, let's say, and you're open to that more, you don't have to, like, you know, make things happen in a very aggressive, thrusting kind of way. You just are in attunement. You're more sensitive. You're listening to the messages of spirit more. And with that, you take action. With that, you make decisions, you know. It's kind of funny the way that comes in. Okay, so Gemini, oh, let me get your money card. Okay, let me get one more card. Actually, two more cards. One card from the Money Tarot by Eugene Vinitsky, and then one more card from the numerology deck. For you, Gemini. I would be, you know, a slight caution here with the sensitivity and the creation, the dream time, and that Seven of Cups. You know, be careful of any tendency to overindulge. You're too sensitive right now. It won't go well. You need less than you think. Substances would affect you on a greater level than perhaps in the past. And it could be that you're recognizing more and more that all this sort of hedonistic opportunities aren't necessarily what will help create the changes you're wanting in your world. When you can nudge yourself as often as you can into how can I align myself with my divine life purpose, that's for the many rather than the few. That helps to take you away from the sort of more hedonistic, egocentric feel a little bit of that Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups could also just be confusion. Like you just have a lot of options available, and you know, it says you are safe and supported while you change your career. So it could be that you are, you know, you are indeed considering many options. Okay, Gemini, run your money. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. Well, it looks like your money is fine during this time period. If you want to make more money, I think it would involve, you'd have to sort of make it happen more. And I think it would happen more from your social circle, from attending gatherings that are parties, this kind of thing. You may network, and it may develop into something else in that way for you. With the Four of Wands in reverse in terms of your money. Yeah, it's more of an extroverted kind of energy, and it's not so much that you would need to make it happen. It would be more through friends, through connections, through activities that you would not only maybe make more money or create opportunities for yourself to make money, but that you would possibly meet with someone, maybe even a Leo individual, who helps you make a career transition or a career change. Interesting. Or even in planning an event, somehow that connects you with the right person. Not just attending, but actually planning a party or planning an event, this kind of thing. Change. So yeah, I mean, you are safe and supported while you change your career. We also have, it's number 5, we have music under the deck. We have the didgeridoo there. So for some of you, it may be that music is central to this. For you, again, we have 5, 3 plus 2 equals 5, and I will say we have the Hierophant under the deck for the money in the reverse. Whatever you do in terms of your money, it would be more unconventional. It would be a less traditional approach to how you get money. So something to be considered, because we have 3 5s. We have this is a 5, we have this is a 5, we have 3 plus 2 equals 5. And we have the change. So, you know, be open during this time period, Gemini, to different ways of doing things, different ways of earning money that are less traditional or less associated with your traditional methods of earning money or from institutions, being less conventional. And yeah, and be open to change. And if music is something that you're interested in pursuing, it's certainly indicated here with the Aborigine, with the didgeridoo and the music here. Very interesting. Okay, I hope you find that helpful, Gemini. I wish you much love as always, and I will see you at your private appointment, either for a Reiki session or a tarot appointment. And I wish you much love.